Over an apocalyptic battlefield dominated by robotic war machines, in the future, humans will wage a long war against an enemy known as the machines. The final battle, however, will not be fought in this future world, but in the past, specifically our present. The year switches to 1984. An object is transported through a high-intensity energy field. The object is a man. The man swats two punks aside, the third stabs him, but the giant tears open the punk's body and kills him, taking his clothes. Aside in a downtown alley, forced through the portal and landing in the alley, a man with visible anguish is a muscular, bare, scarred man who is smaller than the other man who arrived in a similar manner. When a police vehicle approaches, two officers shout for him to stop. After managing to conceal, the man strikes a police officer and takes his pistol. The man asks for the year and date, which confounds the policeman. He locates a phone directory nearby and searches for Sarah Connor. A young woman named Sarah Connor works as a lonely waitress somewhere else. Sarah is leading a dull existence that doesn't appear to be going anywhere, sharing a residence with her friend Ginger. After robbing a car, the Terminator breaks into a nearby sporting goods store and takes a rifle. When the Terminator looks up Sarah Connor in a phone book, she gets 3 listings in the Los Angeles region. He goes to the address shown on the first listing. A tiny dog growls at him as he approaches the front door. The Terminator smashes through the door and uses the pistol it stole to kill Sarah Connor in a vicious manner. Soon later, a co-worker brings Sarah to the television, where she witnesses the murder of a lady with the same name by an unnamed attacker. Ginger, Sarah's roommate, gets ready for their respective dates. Matt, Ginger's boyfriend, is spending the night at her house. When Sarah chooses to go out for pizza, she comes across a news story in which the police declare that a different woman with the same name has passed away. Sarah starts to worry. When she attempts to call Ginger, Matt and Ginger are having sex and are not hearing the phone. The Terminator attacks Matt and Ginger, killing them both with a single shot before Sarah's voice on the answering machine asks where she is. After that, Sarah calls the police and gets put in touch with Lieutenant Traxler, the detective looking into the killings of Sarah Connor. Sarah is told to wait for a squad car, so she should stay where she is. When the Terminator gets to the club, he shoots a bouncer to get inside. Meanwhile, Kyle Reese, a soldier from the future who was sent back in time to stop the Terminator before it killed Sarah, arrived as the second man via the electrical storm. The Terminator sees Sarah at the club. Reese opens fire on the Terminator, sending it crashing to the ground after multiple explosions. The Terminator pursues Reese and Sarah as they flee through the club's rear entrance. As the Terminator subjugates a police officer and seizes his automobile, Reese accelerates away. Kyle tells Sarah that she will give birth to John Connor, the future leader of the human race, during the pursuit. Reese goes on to say that a brand new, extremely strong computer system in charge of managing all military systems was the one that started a nuclear war. Reese had a barcode and was sold into slavery. He claims that just as the human race was about to go extinct, Sarah's son John was able to unite what remained of the species into a powerful resistance organization that eventually overthrew Skynet by the moment Reese was transferred back to the present by Connor himself. Skynet sent the Terminator to the current moment out of desperation to kill Sarah and erase John Connor from the world. There, the Terminator discovers them, and the pursuit continues. Reese gives Sarah the wheel and uses his shotgun to hit the Terminator a few times. The Terminator smashes into a wall when Sarah breaks their vehicle. She discovers that the Terminator has left the scene after she and Reese are taken into custody. Sarah is informed that Reese has been entrusted to psychiatrist Peter Silberman and that Ginger has passed away in Traxler's police precinct. His Terminator account is dismissed as the ramblings of a maniac. Reese responds that only living things will pass through the time vortex when Silberman questions him about why he didn't bring weapons from the future with him during the conversation. The Terminator returns to its makeshift hiding place, a motel room. One of its eyeballs that was injured by Reese's bullet is removed. A highly developed robotic red glowing eye is located beneath the eye. It puts on some sunglasses and marches outside to continue looking for Sarah while bringing along an AR-15 rifle and an SPA shotgun. The Terminator shows up in the police precinct lobby and requests to meet Sarah. It kills every officer it comes along as it relentlessly advances through the precinct. Traxler is murdered in the fight and Reese manages to get out of custody. Together, he and Sarah manage to flee the precinct. Sarah is informed about a future in which humans are barely surviving amidst the ruins of cities and the rule of the Terminators after realizing that Kyle's story is accurate. Afterwards, when they arrive at a roadside motel, Kyle goes shopping to buy the ingredients needed to create explosives. Sarah phones her mother while he is out shopping, giving her the location's phone number without realizing that her mother is actually the Terminator mimicking the voice of her deceased mother. The two prepare an explosives cache and bide their time. Sarah is touched by Kyle's admission that he has never had a lover when she asks whether he has. Then Kyle talks about how he has a picture of Sarah and how he fell in love with her. John, Sarah and Kyle's kid, is born as a result of Sarah's intercourse with Reese. They are followed by the Terminator to the motel, where they make another escape in a pilfered pickup vehicle. With the pipe bombs he and Sarah made, Reese makes a heroic attempt to destroy the Terminator. However, he is injured by gunfire and Sarah loses control of their truck, toppling it over. After making a full recovery, a semi-tanker vehicle hits the Terminator right away. The Terminator murders the driver when he stops, seizes control of the truck, and tries to run Sarah over. Kyle detonates the truck's tank trailer next to a factory with his final pipe bomb, causing it to explode. The Terminator appears from the debris, its flesh entirely burned off, as Reese and Sarah hug. Reese and Sarah withdraw into the automated factory. Reese turns on every single one of the devices as he can to complicate the Terminator's tracking. When they are eventually surrounded, Reese plants his final bomb in the Terminator's endoskeleton, causing it to detonate and scatter bits of the cyborg. Sarah discovers Reese, but he's dead, while tending to her badly broken leg. Abruptly, the upper portion of the Terminator's skeleton launches an attack on her. In the end, she lures the Terminator into a massive hydraulic press by frantically crawling away. She holds it there and presses the button to start the press while it clumsily tries to shatter her neck. Crushed until the red glowing eye of the Terminator disappears, Sarah witnesses the paramedics placing Kyle's body in a body bag as she is brought to an ambulance. Later, she is seen stopping at a petrol station while operating a Jeep in the desert, apparently headed for Mexico. She's been recording with a cassette player. Her kid is the intended recipient of the cassettes. She queries, among other things, whether or not John would be influenced to send the warrior back in time to locate and rescue Sarah if she informs him that Reese is his father. A little boy uses a Polaroid camera to capture her photo as the Jeep is filling up with gas. Reese sees this similar picture in Sarah's dream of his future. She buys it after haggling with the boy about the price. A storm's coming. The child says in Spanish, according to the proprietor of the petrol station. When Sarah notices the storm coming, she responds, "I know." She takes off, heading into the unknown.